Hey, Scarefest fans, this is Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly, and this review brings me to the end of the three-part series of Fear Street, 1666, the movie that explains the witch, why she's trying to kill everybody, Summerdale, Sunnydale, Shadyvale, whatever these two cities are called, how it's all happened. And guess what? There's a twist. It's been difficult to get through all three of these, and I've done 3 reviews. And they've gotten slightly better, but it was still a chore for me to finish 1666. And the movie is almost 2 hours long. I had complained previously that the first 2 are an hour and 45 minutes, but we're looking right at 5.5 hours or 5 hours of screen time to tell this story, and there's just no reason. It's too damn long. In fact, 1666, here's a spoiler alert, about 2/3 of the movie, 1666 ends, and of course, we wrap it back up, which comes right back to 1994. It's 1994, part 2. So we get the origins of the witch, Sarah Fear, who's the one who supposedly has caused all these problems and has made these people get possessed and do all these murders. Once again, when we're in 1666, for the retrospect, there's a scene where we see that these murdered children have, and it's awful. It's awful. That's the one thing I give these trilogy of movies and the director. She's got cojones. She goes for the kill, and it's usually a very vicious kill. People you don't want to die are going to die. But the problem is I still don't care who dies. Put into a blender all these cliches, witches, Salem-esque, somebody who's really not a witch. And I don't want to give too much away because there is what I call a very lame twist in the middle of it of who and what. But some of you are going to enjoy this. Some of you, this is right up your alley, and I completely understand. There's a lot of blood. But the problem is once again, I don't care about anybody. And the fact that it's just convoluted as hell. And some of the things are so easy. For example, in 1994, part 2, which takes part in 1666, there's a grate under the mall. They're back in the mall again. Remember the tree in the mall and the murder that happens in the first of the mall of 1994, part 1? They go down the grate and they find once again where this bubbly creature, if you've seen the first 2, is down there controlling people, that has been risen from the ground of Satan's blah 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 blah. It's so convenient. Why would it be there? Why would it be right there under the mall? And how could they just find it in the third of the third acts right there? There's a lot of that. There's a lot of, oh, here it is, there it is. I understand horror films have a lot of those things, but I want really good writing, and this movie doesn't. What it has is the blender effect. That's what I'm going to refer to it from now on. It's, oh my God, I like a slasher. Oh my God, I like blood. Ooh, let's murder everybody. Ooh, let's have witches. And it just puts it in there. And I understand these are loosely based on the R.L. Stine Fear Street books, which were an amalgamation of all those things. I get that. I understand. I understand of a certain age, like myself, you read some of these books. But I think there's a better movie there. If nothing else, there's a more efficient movie series to be made there if we just cut down a lot of things that we just don't care about. And if you think you get confused, don't worry. There will be 15 minutes of flashbacks that'll explain everything, that so no one is lost. So it kind of talks down to you a little bit. 1666 is really only about an hour. The rest of it is 1994 part 2. It's not a terrible movie. These aren't horrible. This isn't a horrible movie series. It's just not for me. Go ahead, check them out if all this sounds really interesting to you. If not, skip it. I can't recommend them. I can only recommend them if you're a huge fan of Fear Street or you're a huge fan of free horror movies on Netflix. Well, you're paying for Netflix. Of movies on Netflix that are horror films that have a lot of blood in them, but it's a big commitment, and I don't think it's worth it. This has been Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. This is the last time I'm talking about these films.